What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pundymaps. As you can see, we are not playing our usual stream game tonight. We have some people that are away. I'm just gonna turn down my Spotify and my headphones here. Nice and low. Just the background. Cool. Yeah, so thank you for coming and hanging out. What we're going to be doing tonight instead is making a map. And we're going to be making a map of a tower belonging to a very specific wizard. A wizard who likes strawberries, who appeared earlier on in the campaign. It may appear again. I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, we are going to map out Jorund's tower, which is going to be fun. Now, normally with my mapping process, if you caught the last mapping stream, with the one that I worked on, Tier, a little bit, Valtier, or the random dungeon we made, I mentioned that I normally start out my maps with a little bit of sketching, but because I sort of didn't really have any specific map planned for tonight. We didn't really finalize that this is exactly what I was doing until we realized that peeps were not around. I don't have a sketch, so I'm going to be going raw, straight from just my brain parts, and not actually having anything prepped. But that's okay. We're still gonna have some fun. Before I jump into the mapping, though, where I've got some mapping up here, a little sneak peek of a recent map. I'm going to show a little bit of a sneak preview of the campaign guide that is currently in the works. So these are the pages that have been written. As you can see, there are there's quite a few, and yeah, this has been a work in progress for a bit, but it's gathering some steam. I've got some super duper awesome art, some good stock art and stuff in here, and a couple commissions as well. But I just wanted to give a little bit of a peek. You can see just the amount that's going into this, but I'm really happy with where it's at right now. We're currently working through the races slash species slash kindred slash whatever you want to call them, and get some feedback from the guys, doing some editing. But I think it's gonna be really cool. I will show. Let's show a little bit of sneak here. A little bit of a sneak of an upcoming playable feature here, which is the cephaloid. Check out these baddies here. Art here is courtesy of none other than our own Mike, who does some very beautiful art. So we got Inky Boy here. We've got our Dragonborn. We've updated to touch a little bit on the some of the ancestries and stuff that were introduced in Fizzbands, but with a little bit of a twist to kind of fit with our own world. We got our dwarves, we got our elves and lineages, and like all this cool art. It was so good. Our Malkin cat race, goblins. There's our own Mr. Flick right there. We got playable orcs. Pandir, one of the first homebrew races that I created, and got a lot of good feedback about. Made some money off of it actually on DM's Guild before I pulled it off of there. Art by Mike as well. The Pangol, art by Mike. The Towaowl, these are axolotl peeps. The Turtles, there's Mr. Torque. Hey Torque. Ursid, Bearfolk, and the Volar, which I actually created before the Owlkin. And then I had these and tested them out a little bit, and then Wizards came out with the Owlkin, and I was like, man, you kidding me? But I think mine are cooler. They look a little bit more, or I should say a little bit less kind of cutesy and more like rough. where the tieflings, where the you know, ASMR and stuff at, they're going to be templates. They're going to be done a little bit differently. You can do elemental templates. You can do light, dark, tiefling, shade, primordants. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a whole bunch of languages. We got backgrounds and stuff that are in the works. So there's a lot. There's a lot that is going into this project, and I'm excited about everything that's going into it. Lots of maps, of course, too. Okay. Well, without jibber jabbering on anymore, let's do some mapping. So we are going to make a dungeon map. That's weird that it's not showing the menu that I've got open right now. It's not capturing that. Well, that's interesting. So I'm going to create, while I'm selecting this, I'll go back to this cam here. I'm gonna make a dungeon. Now, if you're familiar with the lore of Jorund's tower, it is a wizard's tower, and from the outside and the inside don't match. It's magical, and so the idea is that basically Jorund kind of created this extra dimensional place. So it's got a physical outside. It's got this tower that actually has a physical location in Porto de Arias. And it's like random colors, and the floors look all different and everything. It's very eclectic. And then the inside doesn't match the outside at all. It's totally an extra dimensional space. It's totally you know, something unique. And so I had a lot of fun with that. And the way to get around in Jorund's tower, there's no traditional stairs and like as well, but instead he uses sort of teleportation, mirrors and the like to do that sort of thing. So we'll have some fun with that as well. So I'm just going to finish up getting a set to go here. If you're hanging out and you are chatting, any questions you have that are campaign related, lore related, my process mapping related, or just not related at all, feel free to ask away. And we'll hang out, we'll chat. I'm going to eat some M&Ms. I'm going to snack on this stream because I'm not DMing. I don't have to narrate. I mean, like voice play and stuff, so I can get away with snacking. Grab a snack for yourself too. You have my permission. All right. The base of Jorund's tower is ready to go. So I have it. I do have a. I guess I have a basic idea. I shouldn't say that. I have his tower roughly mapped out. So I had some of the different levels thought out when you know, when I created him, when I kind of placed it in game for the party to arrive in. So it's not like I don't have anything prepped. I do have some ideas. So we'll go ahead and make our grid here. So I think what I'm going to do is do multiple floors shown on kind of one layout, which is very typical for towers. I kind of have the idea of more of like a hexagonal shape, or even octagonal. Octagonal could be good. Set my snaps. If you see my mouse move around, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. It's not OBS just not showing my my menus that I'm opening up here for whatever reason. That's okay. Those aren't really necessary to see what I'm doing here anyway. So, all right. So I haven't added any effects yet. We're just gonna go jump straight in here. And I'm going to create the main floor. Now, the main floor is very ornate. I can change the floor after if I want to, but it's got a very, very ornate feel to it. It was that's sort of how I had explained it in game. You know, marble, alabaster, that sort of thing. So I'm going to go with uneven dimensions because I feel like that's what Jorund would do. There we go. That's a good ornate floor. For A was its tower. Bring this grid a bit less opaque there. Alrighty. So to signify that we've got a sort of closed off space where there's not sort of your typical entrances, I'm gonna go nice and heavy on the walls here, I think. Sometimes I just do sort of, you know, thin walls just to kind of show that they're there, but I think I want thick walls. Fully encompassing. What did I do there? What did I do wrong? Why didn't it look the way I wanted it to? That's not what I wanted to do. I suppose that's better. It can overlap a little bit, that's okay. Alright. So the entrance to his tower, it's like sort of a waiting area. It was like nicely furnished. And the door kind of opened. It's like a magic door that opened. It wasn't really there. It sort of is, but sort of isn't, so. Go with I think window frames kind of work sometimes for, you know, the idea of a not quite, you know, a spinning magical portal. Oh, that beveling is doing some funky things on me. Goodbye, bevel. Goodbye, bevel brick wall. That actually worked. So there's that kind of entrance there. I could set it into the wall to make it. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I guess that works. So coming in to the floor. Now, I do have a little bit of liberty to mess around because Jorund's tower was early campaign spoiler here. Done got wrecked a bit. And Jorund went offline, so to speak. So in that time, we'll say he's done a little bit of remodeling. That's not the right one I want. Yes, here we go. Oh, look at that statue. That's a beauty. Definitely gonna find a place for that. But what I want is this sort of welcoming floor mosaic here. That gives the feeling of something grand as you enter into it. Yeah. There we go. Hey, Trillium, what's up? Gray and blue. I agree, yes. That's definitely thinking that. At least for this first floor, kind of the mosaic. Sort of for the entry hallway that he's got going on here. It's gonna have that that kind of feel to it. Gonna throw in some pillars. We'll go with this same look. Oh, that's a little bit too big. A little too small. Still a little bit too big. Half size. So when visitors come into his tower, there's the whole idea of his entry into the tower is that visitors are hit with a bit of grandeur. That it's evident very quickly that they're in they're in a magical place, and a place belonging to somebody with power, somebody with the ability to really shape their surroundings. And anybody who comes in with the idea that I'm gonna pull one over on this guy, well, on the outside there was this weird looking awkward tower, and you step in and it's much bigger than it looks on the outside, and it's like full of marble and alabaster and like gold filigree and gems and stuff. It's like, oh snap, yeah, okay, maybe I don't want to mess with this guy. And it's not illusory either, right? That's the thing. It's like it physically exists in this extra dimensional space that he's created. So it's very real. Magically created as it is, it's still real. So I'm thinking he's got this magic mirror. Not like Disney, way better. That sort of serves as a communication device. So Jorund doesn't really physically get around, and so he's able to communicate with people in different spots in the tower through these mirrors that he has everywhere. And these mirrors allow him to kind of project his image and also see what's on the other side, and kind of connects the different floors and stuff. So we're gonna throw a little bit of like a fancy, that makes it a little bit bigger. It's like a stained glass motif to it, and it becomes, you know, it's art, it's reflective, but then he's able to speak through it. It changes as he needs it to. And below that, we'll have a table of sorts. No snap. Like so. Just a pinch of opulence. Just a pinch. Just a little bit of a lot. Marble benches, because nothing says I have money and or power to spare. And making a thing you sit on out of marble. So this is like a waiting area, right? So there's places to sit. These people are welcomed in. And in the middle of the room, a sort of more more benches to sit on and relax. And there's magical food that's prepared. And drinks that just kind of appear. They're just there. Both to make people comfortable, that hey, you get some refreshments while you're here, and also to make them a little bit uncomfortable at the same time. Because again, just to show the power that this dude has. Magical danishes, sure. I don't know what's so magical about the danishes, but they just taste really good. There's like an actual magic to them. Oh, I know what I can use as like little side tables. These are supposed to be pillars, but you know what? They work really well as like little end tables too. Magical Danish, yeah. Sure. Why not? Make that canon. Magical Danish with strawberry, of course, because Jorund likes his strawberries. Pretty much everything that he makes has got some strawberry flavor to it. If you can help it. Yeah. There we go. It's got a cozy vibe to it, I think, there. I'd hang out there. Can't remember the taste of anything. There you go, some food. Just appears. Oh, we gotta add some plants. I gotta add plants. Potted trees, even better. Potted trees. I think that's what's called for. Another sign of opulence. A shrubbery. Guess I didn't really need to put those planters there, but that's okay. For my own purposes, to know that they're actually there underneath these trees. The hidden details. Supports their existence in my mind. I think it's looking like a pretty good first floor of a tower. And we need a teleportation circle, which will allow access to other spots of the tower. So I will add one of the teleportation circles that I created. So for my maps, I use a little bit of a combination of things. So I have my program here. I'm using Campaign Cartographer 3, and I have a lot of assets that I have purchased over the years and added to it. Experimented with different things. So I am using the Mike Schley. If you are familiar at all with the D&D source books, you will know Mike Schley's work, which is he's created these symbol sets based off of his very popular maps. I use a combination sometimes of different assets, things that I've purchased as well that are out of program that I'll add in, and then things that I create myself. I am not a digital artiste or a drawer, as Mike is, but I can make symbols and things, and I do a little bit of creating. And so I've created some rune circles, which if you've seen the last few episodes of stream, you will have seen them. So overlaying that on that floor, there we go, that looks cool. That looks magical. Magical runes on an opulent floor. Opulent is going to be the word on night. Oh man, look at this. We get a bot. I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. I'm sure it is. Go to dogehype.com. The punny surgy. Interesting. Yeah. That certainly feels legit, doesn't it? Well, bought Meat Hammer. I know, it's spelled out.com. Wow. Banhammer. You know what? There's got to be a legendary magic item created in game called the Banhammer, and it's legendary that like it just casts like banish. So it sends creatures, but like you hit them and they get banished. They get blocked from the material plane and get sent home. I think I need to do that. I'll add it to my campaign guide. I showed at the beginning of stream. I did a little bit of sneak peek of my campaign guide. I will. I'll do another sneak peek of it in a little bit to show some of the work to do. WIP work in progress. All right. So far, this is looking like a good first floor, though. Yo, Mike. The password was strawberries, yeah. And he offered strawberry juice. Some lore info. Oh, yeah. I put it at the top of the chat, but any campaign questions? Obviously, no spoilers. So, Mike can't ask, like, what's the location of the next boss going to be? But any questions about campaign or lore or anything like that, throw it in. Throw questions my way and I will answer as we go here. Alright. So that's floor 1. Or I think that's where I'll leave floor 1 at for now. So I think it looks good. As is. That's not what I want. Whoa, that's an upside down one. Alright, those labels will be there temporarily. Just help me out for now. Yes, Jorund. Yes, his tower is his home. So Jorund is he's in the Port of Sands, not affiliated with the any of the 6 ships, but kind of did his business from a tower there. Was friends with Connor Boone, so Boone was using the name Boone as sort of how the party was able to gain audience. And it was very old and eccentric. When I created him, so I actually created him for my home game that was being played out before our stream began. And so I kind of had him reoccur in stream. And for whatever reason, I decided that on the shelf with all of his like magical potions and experiments and all that stuff, he would just have strawberry juice. He just made strawberry juice magically and has a thing for strawberries. So he just is kind of half senile, super powerful archwizard who likes strawberries. And it worked. It stuck. I seem to kind of fit. I do. I love strawberries. I absolutely love. They're my favorite fruit, 100%. So, not that Jorund is me. He's not me in stream or me in game. I am not an old crotchety wizard. Well, the slightly crazy part, I guess, would work, but I am not. Well, I guess I do create extra-dimensional realms because I have created this. Okay, I guess Jorund is me in more ways than one. The revelations that happen. All right, let's get back to mapping. So the second floor was Jorund's library. And this is where the party actually got to meet him face to face. And Talon had the magic slapped out of him, basically. Well, anti-magic. As his reward for getting a little mouthy with Jorund. I know that's very unlike Talon, but let's go 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I don't like that wood. Not quite. I feel like he's going to be a little bit more of a dark wood guy here. Alright. So, sorry, we're just having a brain fart here in a moment. Excuse me for that. Sizing out how I want the size to be on this. 1, 2, 3, let's go 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4. Second floor is going to be bigger than the first. Because I can. Because magic. Ships. So, the 6 ships in Porto de Arias, they do sort of work like clans or even sort of like houses or guilds. So that there's sort of 6 ships that collectively rule the port, with one ship sort of elected as high ship, and it changes every now and then. And it's not like you're not born into a ship. You can be, so there can be like lines, family lines in the ships. But signing on to a ship is kind of like pledging your allegiance to the ship. You become a part of that ship. It becomes your clan, becomes your family. Almost like you're like a mini country. Like you owe your allegiance above all else to your ship, to your captain. And the 6 captains, so the captain of each ship, they are the high captains, and they sort of rule the city. And so when we say like the ship, the 6 ships, they have, each ship will have like, number of ships and number of captains and crews and stuff in it. But the capital S ship is like the whole group of it. They each have their own compounds in Porto de Arias. So Porto de Arias is split up into port side, which is where just kind of anybody can go. And then you have the 6 ships, which is where all the compounds are. They're all walled off. They've all got their own... Some of them have their own merchants that they deal with as well. Or there's certain places in the city that you have to be part of one of the 6 ships in order to shop or to go, etc. So it kind of gives you that ability to travel and shop and do business where the regular folk aren't allowed to. So yeah, that's how the ships work. And these walls are bugging me. Gonna go with a bit of a narrower wall for this level of the tower. That way the base of it, the main floor, stands out a little bit with the extra thickness. Now again, there's no actual... That's the thing about this tower, is that there's floors, but because it exists in an extra dimensional space, there's not really an up or down to it. It's just kind of... It just kind of is. It just exists where he wants it to. But for ease of, you know, figuring out where things are, I think the tower makes more sense in his mind as you created it, because otherwise it's like room 1, chamber 3, which is in this other XYZ grid of pocket dimension Jorund. Clarity is useful. Alright, so library floor. Gonna have some spots separated off here. So when the party arrives, they're kind of right in the middle of his study. I'll make a smaller teleportation circle for that. For the subsequent floors. And make that part of the floor stand out a little bit more beneath it. Oh, that's a bit stands out a little bit more than I want it to. That works a bit better. Libraries are great. I love libraries. Both me, like, personally, and anytime I play a video game, there's like a huge library to explore. I always love that. That's always a lot of fun. And obviously, yeah, D&D. Shelves, I know, oh my goodness. A long time ago when I grew up in Toronto. And I remember going to the world's biggest bookstore when I was younger. And just loving it. I go into a bookstore or a library and I'm just like, yeah, books. I mean, do I like to read? No, that's not even all my books. That's some of them. But I love reading. I'm currently working through Wheel of Time series for the second time, so I'm rereading the Wheel of Time series, and I'm on book 9 of 15. So, getting there. Hey, Ian's here. Flick. Burst out at the least appropriate moment. That's the best time for them. Absolutely the best time for them. Alright. So we got the teleportator there. And what does every library need? Bookshelves. Obviously. It is like extremely descriptive. That's the thing about Robert Jordan is that it's there's a lot of description. I mean, I'm on book 9, and I think like only a year or maybe like just under 2 years has passed, and for the amount of stuff that's written about, it takes a lot of time, and there's so many characters, and so you read entire chapters, and then it comes back to like one other character, and you're like, oh right, they exist. So it is a it can be a bit of a slog sometimes, but I still love it. I love the I love the world building that he's created, and so I'm fully absorbed in it. I mean, I read Lord of the Rings when I was in like grade 2, so I'm not thrown off by lengthy, verbose writing. Rowan in the library. Yeah, grade 2. I was a nerd from the get-go. I was destined for nerdiness. I remember too, like, there was like, especially because that time, like, so when I was in grade 2, I remember the selection of books wasn't as huge as it is now, right? Especially for kids. Like, there wasn't the books that were like for kids were lame. I just found them lame, and I was not interested. And the kind of stories I had, like, this huge imagination, and so the kind of stories that I wanted to read were in fantasy books. And so I convinced my mom that, because she'd mentioned it, like, my mom was a big reader, and I convinced her to let me try it. She's thinking like, okay, he'll try it, and he won't be able to get through it, and find something else. And I just like didn't put it down. I read through the entire thing, and then I read through it again, and it just, the Tolkien nerd in me was born because I loved it so freaking much. Isn't that right, Gollum? Gollum. Gollum. I have my mother to thank for that. She sparked the reading gene in me. 100%. I'm building a library. This is gonna be a huge library. I think I need to divide it up a bit more. Have it sort of sectioned off, I think. Tamora Pierce. I read some Tamora Pierce. I do seem to be a sucker for gymongous books. I mean, a lot of the books on my shelf are like the Brandon Sandersons, right? Or like 1,500 pages long. Always good. And then, of course, the Wheel of Time books, Lord of the Rings. I like big books, and I cannot lie. Other readers can't deny. This is the author that like not a lot of people know of, Peter Aurelian. He's only written 2 books. There's a third one that's supposed to be coming, but again, see, it's big. I love big books. Meat of the story. Meat. And yeah, it's true, eh? Like walking around the Inert Tower and it's just like massive empty books. Well, the reality is that you guys didn't see most of the tower. You saw there was a few spots that you saw. You saw some of the library floor. Obviously the entry chamber. You saw the ritual room, obviously where he cast his scry ritual. And then I believe you guys saw his chamber, his contraption chamber. Yeah, you weren't given free reign of the tower, that's for sure. Alright, so we got a big library floor. I'm gonna come back to the library. Just because it's a lot of work. So there was the ritual chamber, which I think I want to make. Just flick all to the library. No, I think it was more Talon insulting him non-stop. Insulting him in his, you use all this power and you don't use it to help anybody. It was one of those. Alright, ritual chamber. I think I have an idea for the floor. But for now, let's just go with brick. You know what? Oh, it'd be funny if his ritual chamber was a circle. That makes more sense to me. Because the tower can literally be any shape that he wants it to be. So I'm definitely I'm gonna make it a circle. That's what I'm gonna do. So that throws people off even more, right? Like you're like, okay, I'm in an extra dimensional tower that occupies a space. Then every floor is completely different. There we go. Really? Elfin name? Sindar name? That's funny. That's the part that continues to blow my mind about Tolkien. That, like, he didn't just write a story. He didn't just build a world. Like, he created working languages. Yeah, like, oh, okay. I mean, that just... Like, how? Alright, I need to make this floor a little bit different than the others. I need to change the hue on it. So I'm going to raise it to another layer so that I can do that. My secrets. Darken that floor up. And in the middle of this chamber, there was this, what are you thinking of this tower so far? I gotta put an orb in the center here. You have to go original DD3 for this one, I believe. I don't quite have what I wanted. Alright, time to pull from some other sources here. Looking into some John Roberts. There's art of an orb. And I can't remember where it is. Poop. Poop on a stick, as one would say. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know where it is. It's in one of my other art catalogs. I gotta find it. Picture misshapen containers stacked on top of each other. That's exactly it. On the outside, it was totally like each floor was, you know, very, very different. But then on the inside, I always had it as this extra-dimensional space, and the whole point behind all of it is to throw people off. Like it's to have people kind of second guessing themselves, right? So you look at the tower and you think it's one thing, and then you get inside and it's something completely different, and then even each floor is not what you expect, so it's just like mind games. Oh shoot, did I put that on the wrong layer? I totally did. Layers. Maps have layers. Google Translate. I've actually relied on quite a bit. Parfait. Everybody love parfait. So there are many names in my game world that are heavily influenced by Gaelic pronunciation and Gaelic words. Being a Scotsman that I am, I like to go with the Gaelic. There's a bit of throwback. Also, just the words are, they like, if you look at Gaelic, it looks like fantasy. Like, it looks like something that belongs in a fantasy world. Like Elven, like words like Torgiliac, and it's like, okay, that's cool. That's a thing. Alright, I'm getting sidetracked. You guys are distracting me. So clearly we need Gymongous, we need symbols in here. I haven't created a runes layer yet for my glowing runes. I like to do kind of glowing runes and stuff for some of my maps. Alright. Magical ritual chamber needs giant magical rune circle. Like so. Let's make some smaller circles. Oops, that's not the right spot to start. There we go. That's starting to look like a place where you would do them ritual type things. You know what I mean? So we got 3 totally different layers. Oh, slut. That's hilarious. Oh, slut. Well, look at our own geography here in Canada, right? Our country means little village, like. There's a lot to be said about lost in translation. So I think in this ritual chamber, I feel like even though there aren't actual windows, that there's going to be some window reflections. Oh yeah, I'm digging that. I like it. Come on, line up with me. Oh, it's not gonna want to line up where I want it to. There we go. Magic of windows. If Apple made a car, what's the one thing it would never have? Exactly. How's this for ritual chamber? Ritual chamber so far. Older drivers, yeah, that's also true, Mike. And no charging cord. No auxiliary port. All right, now this is where the one floor is going to get interesting. So with his chamber secrets, his the chamber in which his contraption is situated that holds his actual physical self. And it's gonna have a little bit more of a sci-fi-ish feel. So it was good to have a little bit of technology infused into magical settings. So this place is gonna have like a basement-ish feel. What floor do I want for it? I'll go with basement for now. Sort of an underground feeling to it. What shape should his chamber be? It's the chamber which holds the chamber which holds him. What shape should it be? I'll pause my drawing for a second here to ask y'alls. What dost thou think? Triangle, just because that'd be gross. Why would that be gross? I mean, not quite triangle, but it could go like trapezoidal. It's like narrower at one end. That might work. Star-shaped. Star-shaped I could do. 7-pointed star. You just want to make me map that out. Make it more difficult for me. I see how it is. Well, if I'm going to do that, I need to find the center of what I'm going to use for my floor. So the trick that I normally do for this is I make myself just a small patch, like a circle or such, and then that kind of is my center point from which I will expand out. Oh, wrong color though. The wrong fill, I mean. I have to make it a basement. I don't even know what basement, what floor color that was. Dang it. Well, you know what? Actually, let's go with red brick for now. That way I can see it. 7-pointed star. Really, Trillium? Really? Where am I? 7 points gonna be? Alright, I need to add a sketching layer over everything so I can draw this out. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's definitely too short. 1, 2, 3. Four. 5, 6, 7, 8. This needs to be longer. More like there. I guess it's all about the length of the points. I'm working it. I'm contemplating it. Will it stick? I'm not sure, but I'm at least playing it out. To see if I can make it work. It's a tricksy hobbit, this one is. Okay. It's growing on me. I don't know if this is exactly what you had in mind, Trillium, but it's gonna have to do. Let's see. See what we got here. I think these two aren't quite right. Like it's stellar. Well, there we go. As for the functionality of such a room, it's going to be limited space. What I could do, though, what if round it out a little bit like that? I like that a bit better, I think. Give it some rounded edges, rounded walls. Yeah. Now walling this thing in is gonna be fun. But we can make it happen. Gonna have to use my arcs. Trying to make me bust out all my tools for this one. If Patrick were doing a jumping jack with the surfboard attached to his back, it would be the shape of this room. That is very specific. And I'm picturing that. But it's like one of those, like, he jumps and it's like you know, those freeze shots from like the 90s. Taylor would probably find this room shape offensive for some reason. Yeah. It's too powerful or something, I don't know. How dare he? Torque would just be like, I fail to see the practicality of this room. All right, tricky bit. Oops, go away, sketch. Time to get the curves in here. It's not gonna line up exactly the way I want it to. That's what I was worried about. So I have an even harder one to do. She's gonna have to do full circle wall. And then break it down. And I'm gonna fix those bits up there. Definitely, I agree with that. All right, now let's see if my brake tool will work properly for me today. And it's going to do the exact opposite of what I want. Of course it is. It likes to do that for some reason. So I have to go in small chunks. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Jones. Anybody see the new Indiana Jones trailers? Trailer. A bit of smoothing out to do on those walls, but saw a trailer. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence, to be honest. The non-existent Indiana Jones 4 really, even though it doesn't exist and I refuse to acknowledge its existence, it really crushed my my hope for a good Indiana Jones sequel. Because boy, was it a pile of steaming garbage. So we shall see how this one fares. I feel like it's got the potential there, but I don't know. Hollywood's doing a good job of ruining franchises lately, so I'm not gonna hold out too much hope. Doesn't believe in magic. Yeah, see, that's one of the things that really bugs me. Like, you're telling me, even in the original trilogy, like, all the things that he's seen, and he's like, I don't believe in magic. I don't like, or this, you know, that there's supernatural stuff. Like, dude, really? You don't? Are you sure? Like, how could you be Indiana Jones and have seen the things that you've seen and be like, nah, there's no magic. Like, okay. So I'm not really sure what they're trying to do with that whole spiel. Oh, I gotta freehand this to fix up these corners. Making me do freehand art like I'm Mike or something here. I'm just kidding, I do this. I have to do this often to fix things. Computers are limited. Wonderful, but still need a human hand every now and then. All right, well, how is our star chamber looking? Ah, it looks pretty cool. I'm actually digging that. I think that looks great. Alrighty. So this is where his this is a stasis chamber, for lack of a better description. I think on this floor he's gonna have himself a nice big old circle of extravagance as well, because why not? Nice and centered on the floor. His stasis chamber. That's right. He just says it with an action. This is where I keep my stasis chamber. The entire floor is a scratch and sniff. It smells like strawberries. Every time you scuff your feet on the floors, strawberries. Everything just smells like strawberries. Now, little bit of potential lore insight here, and decide how much I want to divulge regarding his stasis chamber. You see, there was a recent fiercely taking notes. Well, let's just say if you recall, very recently there was another room that had a stasis chamber in it, drawn from the technology of a certain somebody's. So I'll just leave that there. One of those infuriating teasers which could or could not be anything. Not quite hinting at that. Just other potential implications. I will say, no, Jorund is not a Veil. There's that is not I have no problem giving that out. You would have seen, lore-wise, you would have seen him on the, yes, exactly. Yeah, you would have seen him on the family tree that he created. And yeah, Silas was aware of all existing veils, so. But he does seem to have some interesting stuff in his Galen's, yeah. Galen's little grandpa. You broke down the space-time continuum. Now we've got to fix it. Jorund is not a vampire, no. He is partially, permanently physically incapacitated. Let's just say it that way. So he resides physically, permanently, in a chamber while he more or less projects himself throughout the tower where he needs to be. Oh, that's giant. That's still big. Right, it's so big. He kind of is the tower. It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. You'd have to go back quite a ways to catch up on that stuff there, Trillium. I can't think of what what episode that would even be. What episode would that have been? Feels like absolutely forever ago. That's for sure. There we go. Eating with the notes there. Perfect. Augie. Hi, Augie. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Yeah. Here's an Augie. Oh. Why? Yeah. This is the big one. Hello. Hi. Go on. Nope. Hi, Google dropped session notes. There you go. So yeah, he's got some acquired technology here, which may or may not connect to certain individuals who are now walking around as infused metal undead. Where is that art? There's an art piece that I'm looking for. I cannot find it. Dragon. Let's throw a dragon egg in there just for fun. Ta-da! Alright, I need to search for something for a minute here, because I cannot find certain art symbol that I have for this, for what I need. Well, I'll search for it. Search for it another time, so I'm not just sitting here on the stream doing nothing looking for that. So, all right. Well, here's what we've got so far. Those are looking pretty cool. I think that looks pretty good so far. And here's a puppy. What are you eating?
Treat.
Oh, give it a treat? You want me to give you a treat? Hi. Hi. You say hi to everyone? Yeah. Hi, Griffin. Here's Griffin. Yeah. You wave? Griffin, wave. Wave.
Wave.
Wave.
Come on.
Come on, wave. Jimmy's not on the screen though. Wave at the people. You wave? I don't want to wave, Daddy. I don't want to do it right now. Okay. Fine. Bye. Hmm? He's not gonna wait. He doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Silly dog. All right, so we got ground floor. Oh, whoa. Why did that text go so big? That was weird. There we go. So what else should be in his stasis chamber? Sorry, his stasis chamber. I got a lot of star area to fill up here. Oh, that sucks. I could have like each one of these snack bar. Well, there's got to be like stuff keeping them alive, right? So there's gonna be like magical finagles. Like he's drawing power from stuff, things, like and such as. Like particular books, maybe. Like he's got spell books, ritual books. Wardrobe for our talented you snazzy. The tower servant does not have a physical form. She exists in voice. In voice only. bearing no resemblance to any real-world automated assistant at all. In fact, how dare you insinuate otherwise? Yeah, I guess there would be something, contraption of sorts. Echo, echo. I hear an echo in here. Such an Alright, so we're gonna have this set up here that there's very powerful books. They're acting as conduits for magical energy. Let's go a couple of necromantic books, a couple of holy books, a little bit of everything in between. And then I will draw the ley lines, which will connect these books. Xerox. So there's a little bit of arcane magic, divine magic, and other at work, keeping this dude alive. There we go. Alright, time to set up a runes layer. I've been meaning to do that, and now is the time to do it because I'm going to need my glowing glowiness. So just like Photoshop or any other graphics thing like that, this is all about layers. Well, they call it sheets, in this program, but it's the same thing. It's layers. And play with my glow. I'll start with just a teensy bit of a glow. Go from there. Alright, what color should these ley lines of magical energy be? The default is always kind of like blue or purple. I don't know, I feel like those are kind of the magical power colors for whatever reason. But really they could be any color. What color should his magical connections be? Yellow? Black? Strawberries, duh. Yes. Strawberries. Alright. I have to make sure that the red does not look like blood. Red is a little green. I can make the glow. I can go a little bit greenish for the glow. We'll see how that works out. Alright. I'm thinking... let's test out at width of 5. We'll see how that plays out. Bit of a green edge to it. I'm going to bring in that fade a little bit more though. Bring it closer to home. How's that look? That looks strawberry-ish. Bit of a greeny glow. Flecks of gold and yellow. I don't think I can do that. Oh, I could try. Oh, that's way too big. Nope. No, that's not gonna work. I mean, I could overlay with a thinner golden line straight down the middle of it, but I think I like this. But I need runes to go above the symbol on the floor. All right. Maybe a little bit thinner. I don't think it's quite. That's a bit too thick for my tastes. So let's go something about that sort of width, and then have a waving flow to it, of course. It doesn't quite line up the way I think I wanted to. I like the wave, just not exactly how I want it to be, though. No, it's not symmetry I'm looking for, it's just the exact lineup of the wave wasn't quite where I wanted it. It's a bit better. Alright, so we've got those runes. I'm gonna bring them down transparency a bit. Ah, no, that kills the color. I need to drop my glow edge then. Now what's going to be in the middle that's going to be receiving? Oh wait, I wasn't going to have them go to the middle. I was going to have it go to the thing. So they've got to connect to the stasis pod. So I guess the stasis pod is going to be in the middle. Because I need them connecting to it. But I like the way they're going to the middle there, so there we go. Look at that. That screams powerful, arcane, do not open this box energy. And we're going to go with some thinner lines. Going from these doodads. Connecting our machine. Connecting to one another. Kind of looks like spiderweb-ish now, which I dig. I think that's cool, actually. That's got a nice look to it. I definitely need my arcane. Well, maybe not a whole circle, but I need some runes. Something in here. Definitely at least necromancy. Not the undead necromancy, but just all healing magic is a form of necromantic. Oh, I don't like that. I'll draw on the runes. I'll draw it on the runes layer. See how it turns out. Hey, it's a bit better. Now I want to grab it, of course. There we go. So we got a necromancy rune. Kind of indicates what the deal is. Is there anything else I need in this room? Oh, right. Ardell. Need her hive mind, her central operating system. I think I have something that will work well for that. Be like a housing device that's gonna have some magic coming off of it. Da, 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 da. Anyone got any questions about anything? While I'm plugging away here. All right. Have been a few of your favorite encounters to write for the crew so far? That's a good question. There's a few. I think I mean the last few have been were a lot of fun. The whole void color boss fight. I had a lot of fun playing in that one, and just sort of the different layer ideas, using the circles for him to jump around and having different things to draw from. I think the rock fight was a lot of fun to plan. I didn't kill Fleck. The Void Caller killed Fleck. Okay, he came back, but there's got to be the danger there, right? It has to exist. So, yeah, the rock fight, the rock encounter was fun to plan. Mostly, especially because like trying to think about the airborne mechanics, right? Of this creature that can basically just grab them and lift off hundreds of feet into the air and drop them, and the sheer size of it. So even thinking about positioning them being on it, and the whole way that played out was really cool. Like when they were on its back and then under the claws and all that. So I like encounters like that have different challenges to them. Sentinel was fun. That was a really fun encounter to plan too. With that one, the way I created Sentinel was that he had different phases, and it was random, so I didn't plan which phase it was going to go to next. I left it up to chance. Salvaged feathers. They did actually. Yes, Dinar actually salvaged a feather from the rock as part of his harvesting afterwards. So he does indeed have a rock feather. All right, so this is going to be, this is our little housing unit, casing unit, I think. Looks magical genie in a bottle-ish kind of thing. And I'm gonna add a couple of smaller ones beside it, I think. You know, you gotta have your backup processors. I'll shrink this a bit. I think it's a bit too big, maybe. We'll do that. No, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to think if there's any other encounters that I really had fun with. Those are definitely the main ones that come to mind. I know those have all been recent, but fighting the fog. That was a fun one where I had the ghost fog that was taking shapes and kind of tease them in different ways, and them sort of have to navigate that and figure that out. That was fun. The void gate, yeah. Just I've tried to add in a variety of different types of encounters. Runics, yes, yeah, that was a real fun one, actually. The ambush, and then I had his cronies, kind of a couple of wizards up on the roof, shooting down. That was a good one too. Yeah, that was fun. I've tried to add, like, make them different. You know, when you have too many encounters that are just the same, it gets boring when it's just like, okay, here's another fight of thugs, you know, in a square mat and the same thing. So trying to add different elements of height, you know, cover, different things like that, terrain, and appropriate to sort of where you are in the story. So you'll have to ask my players if I do a good job of that or not. I have fun planning them, but it's really they're only good encounters if the players think they're good encounters. I can plan as much as I want, but if the players don't enjoy them, then alrighty. I think that's pretty good for our stasis chamber here. I suppose there should be some lines of magique that are tied to our Dell. I'm going to connect her to these guys, but let's do it in a big arc. There we go. The Boone Manor fight was fun too, actually. Planning that one, planning the Boone Manor fight. Yeah. Yep. I lose track of like some of the different fights. There's been so many. Oh, you know what? I really liked the Kobold Caves, the caverns in Mount Firagasa. Playing with lava and cliffs, that sort of thing. That was fun. Having the deep holes, you know, when they first entered the cavern, there was that one deep hole that Talon looked down, and there was the flame scorpions that I had coming out of some of the crevices, and there was, you know, kobolds that were flying in and ducking out. So they get a lot of different elements in there. You had the ember spores, the lava, different terrain things going on. Yeah, that was fun. Should I add some big giant statues in here? I feel like you would have some statues. I feel like he's gonna have at least a couple statues. We'll make like, we'll go like mage-ish looking statues. Kind of like magical traps, guardians that are watching over. Standing watch over his not sarcophagus. Is that equal? Is that layer? That's not level. He's not looking the same way. It's more like that, isn't he? Okay. The temptation in making maps that I always have to fight sometimes is like filling in too much space, because you get a whole lot of floor space, and sometimes you look at it and you can be like, oh man, shoot, there's way too much empty space here, and there's a temptation to fill it up. And then remember, like, well, especially if I'm making as an encounter map, a potential encounter map, then there actually has to be space for an encounter or for people to move around. So I'll leave that as is. And I am going to move. I'm going to move these teleportation circles, or these magical circles, onto my runes layer. Get a bit of a glow on them, hopefully. Oh, no, that didn't work the way I wanted it to, because then they just go transparent. Derp. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. Space for activities, yes. We gotta make sure that they can carry out their activities. Alright, well, these are on flat. I'll move them to low. They should show a bit better there. Alright, well, I didn't get much of this library done. I guess I should do some of that, shouldn't I? We gotta have this room up here is going to be like a sealed off archives type thing. Door size, let's go shorter and thicker. And then we'll have some doors down here. I can add ladders to give the impression of higher bookshelves for certain. I have ladders. I'll take snap off for this. I'm gonna put it in. There we go. Throw a couple of these around. Usually just like 1 or 2 per outward facing spot. So let's say we'll add 2 there. That will roll along those. Another one that'll roll along this whole side. Any more? Yeah. Get some rollies going in here. We'll do 1 for each of these sides here. There we go. I feel like these ones, maybe we'll just have like a portable ladder on the side or something like that to move around on those individual shelves. There we go. I give you ladders. Am I not merciful? And we're gonna have some desks and chairs, kind of. He was sitting at one of those when he encountered the party, and even though he doesn't really physically sit anywhere. Oh, that's too high. I need to drop that. These gotta be lower. Those gotta sit under the desk, under the. Oh. Do I have those set as low? Or do I have them set as high? Don't mind me just talking to myself here. There we go. That's better. Couple of tables back to back. And because of who Jorund is, there's going to be some messy papers just laying around scattered. Because that's the way I roll. Where is that? Yeah, that's in here. Just some papers laying around. Like so. So in because he's telling me he didn't catch this part, in the library, his books were automatically coming off the shelves and like landing on the desks and stuff, and like some of them were kind of putting themselves away. So he definitely had a little bit of magic going on there. I'm gonna take out these scrolls. He's gonna have some scrolls on a desk there. I think that'll work. Alright, so when you first come in, oh, what about hidden? It's a hidden door. Most definitely hidden. I need to move that down to a lower level. There we go. A not so obvious way in to his most prized collection. Of comic books. Really, he's supposed to maintain this like image of like, you know, super powerful wizard and stuff, and so you expect that in the hidden archives it's going to be, you know, like dark arcane secrets and things, and it's like just where his manga and it's like anime and stuff is. His coloring books. Strawberry scratch and sniff. I think that'd be hilarious. His fanfiction, yeah. Anytime he meets like new adventures, and he just like starts to write like his own stories of like version of their adventures and pretends what they've gone on. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Need some fireplaces. Cozied up a bit. Definitely in here there's going to be a fireplace with a nice warm rug. Couple of cozy chairs. A little table of food. More rustic bookshelves there, a couple of them. Who's it, Mike? I think you said he needed some alchemy benches and stuff, right? Yeah. So I agree. He's gonna need some. He needs somewhere to make his strawberry drinks, right? So there we go. Yes, definitely book safe food. No Cheez-Its. Okay, that's pretty good for now, I think. Not sure what I'll use that other room for yet. Storage of some sort, I guess. Potion storage. Treasure. I think that's where I will end off the mapping for this evening. I did say that I would give another little bit of a look at the work in progress campaign guide. For those who missed it at the beginning of the stream. Because I can. Because I'm in charge. I am in charge. So, those who don't know, we are putting together a campaign guide for the Tides of Chaos setting. It's actually built on... So I started the homebrew of this world like probably a decade ago. Been building on it through multiple editions, 3.5, 4, 5, changing it over time, and the more I got comfortable with world building and lore, and obviously having some awesome partners for art and lore and editing and all the rest, we're putting this together. So it will be called Tides of Chaos. And you can see table of contents. It's big. This is not a small project. It's been a labor of love. Definitely. It's got a whole intro into the world of Eudora. I'm happy with the art. I've got some really good art in here, I think. The whole section on belief in religion talks about the pantheons, talks about... So it's got the entire list of deities, and all the gods. Kind of, I contemplated doing big, huge, long write-ups of the deities, but I decided against it, and then figured just the important information here, in what their domains are, where their seat of power is located, sort of what their main credo is. Whether they're good, bad, that kind of thing would suffice. So I've got the gods there, cosmology, calendar, phases of the moon, cycles, festivals, order of chaos, of the weaves. We've got the Ataxian weave, the chaos, and the main weave talks about fractures. You can make your own. Whole write-up of the Broken Isles, all sort of main areas, features, places of note. We're going to have a whole section on player options, so character creation. We've got some new creatures. Cephaloid, creation thanks to Jack, art thanks to Mike. Very cool inky boy. We've got Dragonborn, Dwarves, Elves, sort of the classics. Then we've got the Malkin, my cat folk, not Tabaxi, they're cooler. Our goblins, Mr. Flick right there. Playable orcs, no half orcs, just full on orcs. Pandir, the first real homebrew race that I created and had success with. Put it on the DM's Guilds a few years ago, and yeah, did really well. Had a lot of success of it. Sold some copies at a convention a few years back as well, and pulled it off the guild so I could put it in here, but did well with it. We got Pangol. I love pangolin, armored mammals, so I created a race for them. Axolotl, I'm a huge fan of, so I created a race for them. Totals, Ursids, Bearfolk. Really awesome art from Mike here. And the Volar, who are my owl folk, way better than the Owlin. Azamar Tieflings, Genasi are kind of moved into templates as opposed to actual full races. And then we were talking about Tolkien earlier with languages. I created alphabets. I guess I'm not quite on that same level, but I did create some alphabets. Owlfolk. Okay, I'll scroll up to Owlfolk. They're the Volar. Yeah, there we go. So they're much more not like cutesy little owls. They're like full on, more Aarakocra style, but not, you know, lots of different birds. Just owls. So here we got some elemental touched, plains touched, shade, tiefling, and kind of a whole slew of backgrounds. So you see most of this stuff is done. We're very, very, very far in. There's still a lot to do. Astrological signs, fraction generator, the chaos dice system, which we've introduced recently. There's going to be lots of subclasses. So, and there's going to be magic items and spells and equipment and tons more to come. But most of that is still, so there's a lot of content. Like I said, it's been in the works for quite some time, and it's coming along nicely, if I do say so myself. It's a huge document. It is massive. Currently sitting at 142 pages. So, yeah. So I was actually thinking about doing some play testing on some of this stuff, and if you are in our Discord, you can get your hands on that soon. Throw out some races, throw out some different things like that. If you're not in our Discord and you want to come hang out, come join our Discord. You can find our link tree at Elderbrain. You can find our Discord channel there, and hang out with us. And yeah, if you want to help play test some cool new 5e stuff, join us there as well. It'd be good times. Yeah, but that is it for this evening, I believe. Running out of ideas for mapping at the moment. That's the thing about creating and mapping and all that stuff, is you go with the flow and you kind of get to a point where you're just stuck, and it's like, if I was just me doing it by myself, then I would do that, but then you guys would have to sit there and watch me, I don't know, pick my nose or something while I stare at a screen. Not entertaining. So yeah, that is where I will cap off this evening. So thanks for joining me in chat, guys. Thanks for participating and giving me feedback. And good times. Next week, I believe it's next week. No, the following week is when we do our holiday one shot on the 19th. So coming soon. And then we'll be taking a break for Christmas as well. So stay tuned for that. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thank you for indulging me in my nerdy creative process. And we will catch you next time on the Elderbrain Sea of Stool stream. Good night, everybody. Seven-pointed star, Trillium. 7-pointed star.